the bulk of the work, either to give feedback, to bring structure, and certainly to come to you tonight with what we believe is a North Star. So where is the district headed based upon the feedback from stakeholders, based upon the work of the committee, based upon what currently exists and the celebrations and the good things that are happening, as well as where you want to head in the future as a district. So we're going to move through each of the processes you see on the screen. In the end, we are looking for, I believe Dr. Wilcox is looking for an approval of the recommendations this evening. So as we get towards the tail end of this, you'll see very clearly what the committee is recommending to the Board of Education for approval. And after tonight, we'll talk about next steps. The hard work really starts too. It's going to be Dr. Wilcox and her team bringing things back to the board as we head into the summer, getting geared up for the coming school year. Okay? And certainly along the way, ask questions of the presenters or Dr. Galt, myself, or if you want to wait to the end, certainly we will address questions at the end.
Plus, we have a few board members who participated with us, so they probably can answer some questions too.
So I'm going to turn it over to Gabe.
All right. Good evening, Board of Ed. Nice to see you. So the overview of the process of the stakeholder involvement. I'm in the visual paradox of my own eyeballs. So I'm thinking I can read from there. I won't use my glasses. So the overview of the process of the stakeholders, Dr. Shim kind of shared what took place from the start. Team members included the parents, middle school students, staff, administrators, high school representatives, which was great since our students bleed into the high school. I thought that was really nice. The superintendent came for a few of the initial meetings, and then we had some of their curriculum staff and their directors, and then the Board of Education representatives. So thank you, Board, for the many nights of coming out and hanging out with us and providing your input. It does matter, and it presents really well, so it's good to get your input. I'm glad that you had a chance to be a part of that, so thank you. Overview of the process. So strategic planning. We had strategic planning as well as the portrait of a learner. Strategic planning is approximately 40 team members, which is a really nice number of people to have, a very diverse group of people. 8 evening meetings since October. 30 hours is approximately the time of commitment from each team member. Portrait of a learner, approximately 20 team members, 4 evenings of meetings. Again, start at the same time. 22 hours is approximately the time commitment that it took for them as well. Anyone who was on Portrait of a Learner, once that commitment of the strategic planning had ended, joined the strategic planning committee. So community feedback and engagement, I cannot read that number. However, I want to say in the graphs to our right, in the surveys, I believe it's somewhere 596.
Yeah, close to 600.
Okay, so I did review the slides. It's around 596, which is great, and they're broken up. If you look at the pie charts there, it's broken up by the categories. So they were used to gather feedback from our community, the stakeholders, and the groups, included the district, our school district, as well as District 126. And we were appreciative of the participation and feedback that provided to the teams. And it was used in guiding the conversations, not only for strategic planning, but of course also the Portrait of a Learner as well, where there's some pretty healthy conversation in that. And it's good to see discourse and some courageous conversations with regard to their conviction of what they thought was appropriate. I think that was one of the big takeaways from that. So Portrait of a Learner, I'm going to hand that over to Ms. Geiken. Thank you very much.
My notes. Thank you, Mr. Capozzo. All right, so the Portrait of a Learner team, we really worked hard to define what our ideal learner situation was. And we really wanted to encompass the whole educational path of a student. They're coming into Beach Park as a kindergartner, but they're going to be going to District 126 for their high school career. So how can we prepare our students in our buildings to be the most successful human that they can be once they get to the high school level? So based on those conversations, we came up with the mission, a vision, and the value set that we really felt important for our school district. We also wanted to look at different competencies for our learners. What do they need to be employable? What social skills do they need just to be active, engaged adults in their later life? So based on that, we have a summary of our work. we had a lot of discourse and dialogue based on what those values and characteristics should look like. We had a panel of people come and talk to us. So we had a representative from the high school come and talk to us, a current student. We also had current students from the middle school shared their experiences with us. And we talked to high school representatives from the building themselves. So it was really a big encompassing project because we knew learning doesn't just happen in our buildings, but it needs to prepare them to be continual learners. So the summary of our work, we had a lot of characteristics that we felt our students should be defined by. We were then able to look overall at these characteristics, and we found 4 general themes for them. I'll dive into that in a little bit, but there is 4 broader categories, and they all have characteristics or capabilities that our students will be able to demonstrate later on.
Hello. I worked on the strategic planning team. The strategic planning, they're a little different than the portrait of a learner, was we were writing the mission, the vision, and the values and the strategies for the whole entire district. So we broke out in that team. We started off getting a summary of work we started off our summary of work, getting some in-depth learning and opportunities and feedback. And during one of the meetings, we had all of the people in the district office come and present to us what they do and other opportunities that we could learn. It's such as human resources told us what they do in the district and other things that they plan to do in the district, okay? So we had the student services, the multi-link, human resource, and the curriculum instruction, technology, the building grounds, the business service, and the communications. Everybody came together and they gave us a presentation on what they were doing already and things that they were interested in doing. And so we took all of that information, and I'm going to go to the next screen. Forward. Okay. So that's what we did during that time. Then we took all of that information and we sat down and we assimilated all the information and the feedback that they told us about. We created from that information a mission. We also created a vision, and we talked about values. And later on, we'll talk about the strategies. We reviewed the community-wide feedback for our goals and our strategies and our values. And we also talked about our portrait of the learner too, because even though we were working on the strategic planning side, we knew that everything would flow also into whatever the portrait of learners were also doing. We worked in individual and small groups. So even though we were a group of about 50 to 80, we did veer off into smaller groups. And then we all came up with strategies and plans. And then we all came back together and came up with one vision plan. Any questions?
All right, so our recommendations that we're making, the first recommendation, we reworked the mission statement. So we adopted a new mission statement that we felt better encompasses what we stand for as a district. The idea that it could fit on a t-shirt was highly appealing to many people. So our new mission statement that we would like you to adopt is: we empower our students to learn, lead, and succeed as a connected community. We also wrote a new vision statement. Our vision statement, again, better encompasses what we believe as a district, where we are heading, where we are going to in the future. And so our vision statement that we adopted is BPD 3 is dedicated to the success of everyone by creating pathways of learning through fostering student engagement through challenging academic experiences, developing community pride and partnerships, creating a responsive and nurturing environment, and advancing a culture centered on relationships and inclusion. So again, we felt that these were where we wanted to go as a district, and our recommendation is that we adopt this as our new vision statement. And then we listed core values that we as a district feel like these are the lines that we don't cross, so these are what we as a district hold most important: student-centered, clear and concise communication, inclusive and supportive learning environment, relationships built on trust and respect, emotional and physical safety, integrity, and academic readiness and excellence. Those are the values that we as a district felt, or we as a strategic planning team felt that we as a district should hold most valuable, and we ask that you adopt those as our core values.
All right, so the Portrait of a Learner team took into consideration our core values when we were coming up with the 4 characteristics or themes that our learners could be defined by. So in this next visual, you will see a very small breakdown, it's hard to read those, of the different characteristics and the 5 to 7-ish attributes that fall into each of those categories, which I will proceed to go through for you. So the first characteristic was defined by growth mindset. And as a team, we went through several discussions and a survey with the community to really land on these bullet points that we all agreed to. So these were the value sets that we felt best defined growth mindset for our students: resilience, confidence, motivation and accountability, adaptability, knowing value of self, being reflective, and having self-discipline. Our second characteristic was social and emotional awareness. Again, that same process where we have lots of group conversation to really land and hone in on the exact phrasing that we wanted to use for this. So we decided on the ability to work together, emotional regulation, self-awareness, self-advocacy, interpret and respond appropriately to others, and demonstrate integrity. Our next characteristic was valuing others, and this we decided should be demonstrated by cultural acceptance, sense of belonging, equitable mindsets, recognize multiple perspectives. And our final characteristic really needed to focus on academics. We are a school system and we need to be very cognizant of that. So we need our students to be critical thinkers. They need to be able to collaboratively problem solve, have clear communication, be proficient in their grade level, and they also need to have the ability to navigate complex problems.
So all of it leads up to the team creating goals and strategies that focused on 5 specific areas. So the goal areas, as you can see, are our students, staff, families, our district, and our community. Each of those have strategies that have been outlined that will be discussed in the following slides.
Each of our goal areas are for students, staff, community, and district. Each of our goal areas also had focus areas. The students' focus areas were they wanted to feel safe, valued, challenged, and the strategies that we used for that was we're going to ensure continuous academic growth and achievement, equitable access to a rigorous curriculum. We're going to foster social-emotional development, social-emotional awareness, and we're going to celebrate and embrace the diversity of our community. Now that falls under the goal area for the students. The strategy for the goal area for staff their focus area was to feel safe, respected, have a diverse staff, and they wanted to feel engaged. So the strategies that we wanted to put into our goal area and our mission and our vision was we're going to invest and support and enhance professional growth for our staff. We want to focus on recruitment and retention. We want to promote a welcoming, safe, and collaborative culture. And we want to develop a culture of timely and transparent communication. The next goal area is for our families. Our families wanted to be respected and included. And all this information came from surveys that we had given out to the staff, the students, the community, and the district. So the families, in order to help them to feel respected and included, we wanted to engage families as advocate leaders and participate in shared decision-making. We want to promote a culture of equity, inclusion, and belonging in partnership with the school community. We want to provide the families with tools, resources, and relevant information to partner in their child's progress, okay? The last one was what the district is going to do, the goals for the district. The focus area for the district was for them to be proactive and accountable, okay? There we go. Some of the strategies that the district used to be proactive, to accomplish their goals, was to communicate effectively with all the stakeholders, improve and enhance curricular alignment, improve and maintain the facilities, develop and promote culture, equitably and responsibly allocate resources to enrich the overall learning experience. And those are the 4 goals and the 4 goal areas, as long as the focus area.
There's 5.
5.
One more.
I did families, district, and, oh, did I miss community? I'm
You're
sorry.
fine.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna read the community. Okay, we did have 5, okay. So the community wanted to feel to be engaged partners and be supportive. So what they wanted to do was they needed to engage in fiscal responsibility for the betterment of our learning community. They wanted to promote intentional and involvement and engagement. And they need increased partnerships to provide students with authentic learning experience and service learning opportunities.
And I really like the fact that the team decided to stay with the focus areas or choose the focus areas, because it really can serve, when you start looking at the strategies, it serves as a lens in which each of those can be accomplished. So if we want kids to be challenged or valued or safe, we can look at some of the strategies and say, if we do this, are we going to increase safety? Are we going to increase students or staff feeling valued? So I think that those focus areas are really going to be something that the district can keep going back to and saying, where are we addressing these focus areas? Because if not, sometimes they get lost. Because students and families and community, those are such broad terms, we really need to focus the efforts and the mindset.
And this next slide shows us those strategies, all 5 of those strategies on one slide. Students, staff, families, district, and community, along with, again, those, core values and then the specific bullet points that how we're addressing each one of those strategies. And then this slide here is just, again, an overview of all the recommendations that we've made, the mission statement, the vision statement, the core values, the portrait of the learner, and those strategies that we've outlined.
So we're gonna talk about next steps. If you were counting along the way with the strategies, so there's 20-some strategies. There's no way that Dr. Wilcox and her team can do 20 strategies with fidelity in 1 year and say, we're doing all these, we're doing them to the highest level. That's not gonna happen. As a board, I'm sure you know that. So the hard work is coming to say, what does a multi-year plan look like? What's the most important strategies that we want to focus on to accomplish in each of those 5 areas, those goals? So if you look where we are in May tonight, obviously we're looking for a board approval, Dr. Wilcox is. Shortly after this, we're gonna get together with Dr. Wilcox and her cabinet and her team of administrators to start talking about basically what you have in front of you. We'll get that in a say, if we have these 5 goal areas, how do we start lining these up with action plans? How do we say, this is what's gonna happen come the fall, all of next year, and beyond? And that's a big, heavy lift. So that's gonna begin though, with the cabinet and Dr. Wilcox, probably in a couple weeks here. And who do we wanna bring along with us? Is there some committees that need to be formed? Is there a group of more stakeholders that we need to bring back together as the next phase of this to bring this to life? And then as we get into June, these action plans, almost like an example you have in front of you, will be created. When we get to June or July, we would encourage, we don't know if you have a board retreat, if you do a summer work session at all. If you don't, it would be a wonderful opportunity to do something for a half a day, 3 hours, or a full day, whatever that looks like for all of you, for Dr. Wilcox and her team to present, to say, this is where we are. It's July, we're gonna be starting school in a month or so, but here's what we see for the coming multi-year looks like for our goal areas and our action plans. We can't get to everything, but these seem to be the priorities. Do you agree, board? Here's the resources we see that might impact that. Here's some of the, as we start looking at from a financial standpoint, what's a multi-year plan look like for these things to happen? Maybe they all can't happen because the finances aren't gonna allow it. Well, what does that mean to this strategy, this action that I'm moving forward then? So we encourage that to happen come July. And then really by the end of the summer, how do we brand this? How do we make sure, and this has to start soon too, but how do we roll this out to the community? To say, here's where we've been, the documents that we've shared, it's a starting point, but it doesn't have the Beach Park 3 brand to it. So what does this new look, whether it's on brochures or letterhead on social media, on banners, whatever that is, how do we get the community to say, when they see this, these are the goal areas, these are the strategies, this is our mission, as someone said, it can be on a t-shirt, whatever that is, how do we make sure it becomes something that we all can speak to, believe in, and move forward with? And that's that branding and communication piece. That will start come May, but by the time we get to August, how do we make sure that all of our stakeholders have an understanding of it? And it's communicated in a consistent way through the schools, into the community, through your businesses, whatever that is, at your board meetings. So that's gonna be very important work. That's gonna take a lot of effort. So what you have in front of you is a draft action plan. This is not Beach Park 3's action plan. But this might be something, as you look at it, when we talk about communication, when we talk about branding, we try to give you something that we're gonna work with Dr. Wilcox on, a form like this, some sort of template that all of her team can use with each of the goal areas to keep track of. When we talk about how do we measure the progress, how do we look at the indicators of success that we're making progress towards this area. So the document, kind of look at that and look at the one. This is the goal areas district. The focus is being proactive and accountable. The strategy is communicate effectively with all stakeholders. And then the rationales, we want to increase communication, right? We want to make it two-way. We want to have a comprehensive communication program throughout the district, not just for the strategic plan, but for the district as a whole. And then the action plan title is stakeholder engagement. And then you'll see a series of action steps. And I broke these out on the screen into year 1 and year 2. So you'll see them on this as one. I was going to expand the other screen for a second.
Oh, sorry.
So for year 1, we were going to, as I talked about, we're going to have an outside support, whatever that looks like. Can we find a student at the community college who's a marketing or a graphic design major, or a team of kids, students that want to get their name out there, to start looking at branding? Is there a third party out there, a business leader out there who would want to contribute maybe efforts or time and expertise to help communicate branding? What do we have to look at for templates? The buildings using similar templates as the district to start creating and graphics for your communication. We increase our distribution. So these are all things in year 1 that might be the priority or action steps to help us communicate more effectively with all stakeholders. Year two, and this, some of it might start in year one, but year two would be looking at the publications of our practices. Are we gonna do an audit of how does the community think we're doing? How does the board think we're doing? How does staff think we're doing communication-wise? What things can we do better? Are we reaching them with the means in which we use them? Or do we have to just do Facebook? Or do we have to update our website? All of those things would be part of an audit that you could do as an action item in year two. You know, survey cabinet members or building leadership. So all of those things I put on year two as part of an action plan. And then you'll see, when you turn the back of this, is the timeline. So all of your action plans and your steps are gonna have a timeline. They're gonna say, how are we gonna monitor the steps of the timeline? And then what things are we gonna say that we're making success? Those indicators of success. If I'm on a diet, if I'm trying to work on my health, my indicator of success might be, it might be the scale. It might be I have more energy levels. It might be I'm sleeping better. So what are we gonna use for indicators of success for each of your action items? If not, we're just gonna have a bunch of stuff that we're doing, and we're not gonna know what's making a difference, or if we're making progress. So those are gonna be really important areas that we'll work with Dr. Wilcox on, and she'll work with her team on, so that when she comes to the board, she can let you know, here's what we decided are gonna be our indicators of success. We're gonna come back to you twice a year, 3 times a year, and we're gonna be able to tell you, here's the progress that we're making, based upon that, what we determined for each of these areas. And then those can drive your school improvement efforts, those can drive your school improvement goals, they can drive administrative evaluations if you wanna do that. So multi-years down the road, a lot of latitude or a lot of, I guess, growth in these areas that everything is aligned. From the board goals, strategic plan, the board goals, Dr. Wilcox's goals, all the way into the buildings. You know, that's the end game, or the goal of what we want to get to. It's not all gonna happen this year. So you'll see a number of the different examples of graphics, of website refresh, those all might be indicators of success. Where we completed our audit like we said we would do. And then potential resources and costs. This is very important. So as HR comes up with their goals and strategies, as teaching and learning does, as technology does, this will drive, as the board says, where do we want to spend our money? What are the priorities? So they're not just blanket requests from year to year. There's really an avenue to say we have a plan. We have a multi-year plan, and here's the impact on the budget if we move forward with this plan. Or we can't do this because it's not in the budget, so we have to rethink our strategy. We have to think our action plan. Something different has to happen. So it's really important that we move through this process in each of the 5 areas, the goal areas, as well as each of the departments take a look at it. And that'll be a great living document that's brought back to the board, that Dr. Wilcox uses on a planning basis every year, and that the community can say, you know what, we know what the district's doing. Not that they don't now, but it's just gonna be very clear and transparent. So, a lot of information, half-hour time. What questions do you have? And before I forget, Mrs. Contreras, thank you for all your time you gave to this committee. We always had food, we always had things, signing sheets, it was a tremendous effort.
Sometimes homemade.
We really, really appreciated everything you did. So, thank you for that. Any questions of the group or members of the committee?
I have one question. Parent involvement, was it mostly from surveys or they actually, did they actually participate during the strategic planning process?
We had both. I don't know if you want to speak to it, but we had both.
We had parents that were there, who participated throughout, both on portrait of learner as well as on strategic planning. And then surveys were shared out the entire learning community as a whole, so they gave feedback to the surveys as well.
And I would say the surveys definitely had both teams make adjustments to their documents. So it did cause us to make change and to really think about what our families and our other stakeholders were telling us.
Thank you.
Thought of mine, since we are a school, for me, student academics is number 1 in what we do. And as I look at this, it's number 4.
You know what?
I realize it's just
And thank you for saying that. And I thought about that when I was looking at it too, because many times, regardless of whether the intention's there or not, when we number them, it shows level of importance. So what I will do, actually, we're gonna just take those numbers off. I thought about just putting some sort of, emblem there or something to indicate, we can even leave that blank.
Well, I would put it,
Or move it, yeah.
and then same thing with, let's say, a core value. Academic readiness and excellence is last thing.
Okay,
Needs to be the first.
okay. Good feedback. Appreciate that.
Otherwise, thank you for your hard work and leading us and whatnot.
Yes, it was, I think I can speak for Dr. Galt. You have, and I said it earlier, it's really, you have a hidden jewel here. To have a board that's as involved, to have a staff and community have so much pride in what you do, the administrators, Dr. Wilcox, we've really appreciated it. There was discourse, there was dialogue, but you have a group of people who just care about Beach Park 3 and the kids and where, not only when they're here, but where they're heading to. And there was some tough conversation about where we need to go as a group, as a community, which is great too. So we appreciate it. And it was very enjoyable. And we're not done. We still have some work with Dr. Wilcox to do at the building and district level. But it's been our pleasure.
Absolutely, we appreciate it. And we'll be watching, we're gonna be watching your board meetings to watch all of the awesome work that's going to take
Come back for
place.
public comment and.
No, I promise I won't do that, but I'm really excited to see where you take it, because there's so much opportunity. It's gonna be awesome. I'm very proud of the work that was completed by the entire learning community. I hope you are too.
Great, thank you, yeah.
Good turnout.
Anybody have any other questions? Thank you so much, Dr. Cole.
Thank you. We'll be in touch with you shortly.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next thing on my superintendent report is the board meeting dates for next year. So I know that Diana shared those with you. She also put a copy in front of you. Does anybody have any questions or concerns about any of the board meeting dates for next year? We tried to learn from this year to create it for this coming year. So hopefully we've made sure, I know one of the things was that the original first board meeting in August was meant to be on the 19th, which is the first day of school, which is what we tried to avoid this year. So it is the week before. All right, all that I would ask is when it comes time later this evening that we just pass the recommendation for our board meeting dates for next year. The last thing on my superintendent report is just about Star Award distribution. So each month, staff are nominated by their staff members for Star Awards. And then I go on a random day, usually on Fridays, and present star trophies to people, reading to them who nominated them and what for. Last month, Ms. White went to each building with me and handed them out. This month, Mrs. Fusen went with me on Friday. It's a great opportunity for our board members to go and be seen in schools while sharing appreciation for the work our staff do every day. This is a really big deal to our staff, and I know that I give the pictures to Diana, and she posts them on our Facebook page as well as our website. So if you're interested in participating, please let me know. It's a great way to just go say hello to staff and for all that they do. And that is all for my superintendent's report.
Thank you, Dr. Wilcox. Okay, moving on. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Second.
Roll call?
Stephen Lindsay.
Aye.
Andy Luther.
Aye.
Kelly Ropers.
Aye.
Nicole Harris.
Aye.
Marcia White.
Aye.
And Houston.
Aye.
Andrew Osry.
Aye.
Do we have any correspondence? We don't have any, okay. Any questions on old business? Moving on. Any, next, long-range planning?
Thank you. Long-range planning did meet this last week. Did take the tour of the preschool, got to see the status of it and how it's coming. Certainly there's, exterior-wise, there's still a bunch to be done, but waiting on the weather pour concrete, lay asphalt, and plant grass. But inside, it's come along quite well. Staff is to the point of putting together a punch list of things that the contractor take care of. Dr. Wilcox has kept you abreast of things in her Friday updates. So that's coming along. Hopefully, before school's out, we'll have access to the keys to the building. Two other projects that we're looking towards to do this summer, the KM water pipe replacement and the middle school 2 rooftop units to be replaced seem to be on schedule. And so those are forthcoming. That's all I have to report for you today.
Any questions? Thank you. Any for our finance committee? Nicole, are you doing it or?
Okay, the finance committee met at 5:30 tonight. Go over some staff salaries. We also talked about a draft consolidated district plan. It has to do with title grants. And we went over a little bit on the preschool project update. Go ahead and review our monthly finance bills and approve those along with the treasurer's report.
Oh, thank you. No CEDAW, right?
You'll see all this one.
Okay, building reports. Any questions, comments on the building reports? Any questions or comments on the department reports?
I'm not sure what the plan is, but I would ask that there be some kind of verbiage given to us regarding the consolidated district plan draft that we're going to be voting on in a bit. I'll make sure everyone understands what's asked of us. So if Dr. Wilcox or somebody can present, that's under Assistant Super's name. Maybe George wants to get up and say something? No?
Jorge, do you want me to speak, or would you like to speak?
You can start, then I can jump in.
Sure. So every year, we have to create a consolidated plan on behalf of writing title grants. So Title 1, 2, 4, 3?
An IDEA.
Yes, an IDEA. In order to even apply for these grants, you have to submit a consolidated plan on behalf of your district, which also includes all of the private schools that are within our boundaries, so to speak. So if they can collect title funds, they have to be part of our consolidated plan. So it's basically just the numbers that were used from last year, expenditures, et cetera, and what we used funding for the year before. We have to create a consolidated plan on behalf of the district so that we can apply for the upcoming year's title grants and IDEA.
It is our intent to apply for the grants. In other words, it's a part that the SB wants to know. If we don't submit this part, then the grants will not flow in. We let in SB, we want to apply for all these grants, and this is the rationale why.
Anybody have any other questions about it? It's a formality, and it has to be part of what we present when we submit it to IS Education and approve to move forward with applying for the grants themselves.
Yeah. No, we have some new board members, so I just want to make sure they understand what is being asked of them.
Absolutely. So if anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask me.
No other questions for department reports? Do we have any questions or comments from visitors? Do I have a motion to adjourn to closed session for the purpose of discussing appointments, employment, compensation, discipline, and specific employees, or of the public body?
So moved.
Aye. Marcia White.
Aye.
Mindy Lee.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
We're back into open session? No. We're back into open session. So do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Kelly Ropers.
Aye.
Stephen Lindsay.
Aye.
Andrew Esri.
Aye.
Marcia White.
Aye.
Nicole Harris.
Aye.
Ann Houston.
Aye.
Andy Luther.
Aye.
Okay, that passed. Do I have a motion for the approval of the 2024-25 board meeting dates?
I so moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Andy Luther.
Aye.
Marcia White.
Aye.
Nicole Harris.
Aye.
Andrew Esri.
Aye.
Kelly Ropers.
Aye.
Ann Houston.
Aye.
Stephen Lindsay.
Aye.
Okay, it's approved. Do I have a motion to approve the strategic plan?
So moved. Second.
Roll call?
Andrew Esri.
Aye.
Kelly Ropers.
Aye.
Stephen Lindsay.
Aye.
Ann Houston.
Aye.
Nicole Harris.
Aye.
Marcia White.
Aye.
Andy Luther.
I have a motion to approve the 2024-25 district office salary as amended.
I will so move as amended.
Second.
Roll call?
Nicole Harris.
Aye.
Andy Luther.
Nay.
Marcia White.
Aye.
Kelly Ropers.
Aye.
Ann Houston.
Aye.
Andrew Esri.
Aye.
Stephen Lindsay.
Aye.
Thank you. Yes. Do I have a motion for the approval of the draft consolidated district plan?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Marcia White.
Aye.
Kelly Ropers.
Aye.
Andy Luther.
Aye.
Ann Houston.
Aye.
Stephen Lindsay.
Aye.
Nicole Harris.
Aye.
Andrew Esri.
Aye.
Okay, that's passed. Do I have a motion for the approval of resolution for dismissal of probationary teachers?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Stephen Lindsay.
Aye.
Andrew Esri.
Aye.
Nicole Harris.
Aye.
Andy Luther.
Aye.
Kelly Ropers.
Aye.
Ann Houston.
Aye.
Marcia White.
Aye. Do I have a motion for the approval of renewing the first year non-tenured teachers to a second year probation?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Kelly Ropers.
Aye.
Stephen Lindsay.
Aye.
Andy Luther.
Aye.
Marcia White.
Aye.
Ann Houston.
Aye.
Andrew Esri.
Aye.
Nicole Harris.
Aye.
It has passed. Do I have a motion for the approval of the renewing of second year non-tenured teachers to a third year probation?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Ann Houston.
Aye.
Stephen Lindsay.
Aye.
Kelly Ropers.
Aye.
Nicole Harris.
Aye.
Andrew Esri.
Aye.
Andy Luther.
Aye.
Marcia White.
Aye. Has passed. Do I have a motion for the approval of renewing the third year non-tenured teachers to a fourth year probation?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Nicole Harris.
Aye.
Stephen Lindsay.
Aye.
Andy Luther.
Aye.
Ann Houston.
Aye.
Kelly Ropers.
Aye.
Marcia White.
Aye.
Andrew Esri.
Aye.
Has passed. Do I have a motion for the approval of renewing the fourth year non-tenured teachers to tenure status?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Kelly Ropers.
Aye.
Stephen Lindsay.
Aye.
Andy Luther.
Aye.
Ann Houston.
Aye.
Andrew Esri.
Aye.
Marcia White.
Aye.
Nicole Harris.
And now here's the hard one. Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved. Second.
Roll call?
Andrew Esri.
Aye.
Stephen Lindsay.
Aye.
Kelly Ropers.
Aye.
Marcia White.
Aye.
Ann Houston.
Aye.
Nicole Harris. Andrew Luther.
Aye.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you for your help.
Thank you, Karen.